Hey guys, it's Green Zero back here with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. We are here back with the tournament I was spruiking earlier in the week. This was played on the weekend. It is now completed, and I'm happy to say it was a huge success. It was a really big success. We actually got 22 people to sign up, and 20 of those actually played. Normally you see a lot of people not attend the event that do sign up, but this was a huge turnout. All played on the command post VPN server. There was a few technical issues, so it wasn't flawless, but those are getting ironed out. But aside from those minor issues, huge turnout, huge performance, a big success, and this will lead to more tournaments almost undoubtedly. So we're going to jump across to command post here. If you don't have it, link is in the description. If you play the game, you pretty much need to have this. So we're going to go to the tournaments tab. Spoiler alert, just fast forward to the game if you want to not see the full bracket. We can see the tournament was finished. We can click the tournament details here. I'm going to bypass the brackets just so there aren't any spoilers, but yeah, quite a few people rocked up. If we jump to so the bracket is here. I'm not going to go too deep into the bracket, so we're going to go across to my matches. These are the games that I played. Everything is recorded here, so you can see all the details, the win, the loss. There's a points table if you want to have a look how you did overall and things like that, and of course uploaded replays. If you go back to the matches and the bracket and we click, say, on Shoktrepet here, we can see his games coming up when he played Panic here. So there's the two games and it says the winner and details like that. So it's great. Or you don't need a replay packet when you have the tournament system. But it's a very brief rundown of the tournament here because I want to jump into the game. I'm going to be doing the semi-finals between Shoktrepet and Masterleaf, and then I will be doing the grand finals after this, and I think that should be enough coverage for this particular event, but stay tuned, that game is coming up right now. Alright guys, welcome back to the game here today. We have the semi-finals from the tournament between Masterleaf and Shoktrepet. This is a best of 5 series. The winner will go on to play in the grand final. So if we start things off on the top left hand side playing as the Squid faction, it will be Masterleaf. I believe he is Scrin Vanilla. Yes, he is going to be Scrin Vanilla, and that means his opponent Shoktrepet is playing as the GDI forces on the right hand side of Tiberium Rift here. So this is going to be a pretty intense game, or a pretty intense series. Just while things get warmed up, we'll talk a little bit about the tournament. So yeah, great success. Shoktrepet has defeated Panic to get to this stage, whereas Masterleaf did manage to sneak past me. Unfortunately, there wasn't able to grab Masterleaf this time around, who is going for a disintegrator push. On the opposite side of the bracket, you had the big players over there was Encore and Senna. They got separated from the pack, and I'm not going to cast anything from that particular side, but Senna has already made it through to the grand final, so Senna will be waiting for the winner of this game in the best of 7 for the cash prize. But we're going to have to see how this particular game goes first. Masterleaf did defeat myself 3 games to 1 in the previous round. Shoktrepet had a free win because, of course, we had a number of players. It doesn't divide very evenly into the tournament. But he did beat Panic and one other opponent. I cannot remember who. We can see here now that he's trying to snipe down the spike. Masterleaf trying to take that spike out, using the building as cover. Shoktrepet not going to allow his rifleman squads to encroach too close there. So good use of cover, but good use of spreading by Shoktrepet, of course. You can check out my stream, links in the description below, for my first person view footage of my tournament games all the way through to the end. I did actually stick around to cast this particular one game, but I then went to bed because it was 3 AM and I was very tired, and there were some other streamers to take over from there. So Shoktrepet is going to move around to cut off these flanking units here. He will lose his squads, but he manages to chew those guys up enough, and he will kill the buzzers as well. Masterleaf is going to have to turn around and run because a tower will come down, and that will start to pick off his disintegrator squads. Battle markers raging over here. It looks like Shoktrepet has the buzzer swarms pinned down in the structure. Going to be moving perhaps to cut those guys off. Not going to quite do a repair tool down on the Tiberium spike. Good job saving the Tiberium spike. Masterleaf is obviously drawing out some attention and some time from Shoktrepet here. And APC will even come down here for Shoktrepet, force firing the ground, which allows the disintegrators to really ball up into this very tight-knit ball. where they can move around and really punish things. That APC though is going to get eyes on them and starts to chip away. These guys have been chipped away quite some time now. There's a rifleman squad up there and they will be completely surrounded and they should be destroyed. Is he going to lose the APC? That would be huge. Oh my god, he did. He lost the APC, so Masterleaf gets a minor victory. He did manage to bail out the rifleman squad though, so there you go. Just managing to cut his losses just a little bit there. And then he should be able to dislodge this buzzer swarm momentarily. He will dislodge it now and he will destroy it. But a gunwalker rocks up. It's all about the mind games here, all about the anti-scout. And Masterleaf, double harvester coming down to the expansion. He's already got 4 there. He hasn't got 5. 5th one comes out now. Still going to move that to the expansion. He can afford to have another harvester up here for good saturation. But he's going at the blue tip field. Wow, he's got a lot of harvesters. He's really boosting out his economy while those disintegrators were drawing time and effort from Shoktrepet. But Shoktrepet is no slouch. He already has a ref down. He's got a second war factory. His economy is, his infrastructure is more developed. Masterleaf does have the nerve center, so that's something to write home about. So that is notable, and he is going for the upgrade here. Masterleaf did this versus me, where he does a lot of attenuated force field seekers, and then he fast techs into shard launchers. Completely unexpected strategies from Masterleaf there. So I think that's what caught me off guard a little bit. In my series there, but he's gonna go for it in this series here. Thinks he can really push Shoktrepet with these. Pitbulls are going to push back this one gunwalker. There is a Seeker tank there, but he does pick it off and he will be backing out now. No, he's not going to quite back out. He might lose a Pitbull for that there. So again, both sides just trading around. We'll lose the Pitbull. Another Pitbull may be going down. Battle markers down here. Scouts are having a quick look around. Scouts running over the Tiberian field, backing off now. Another Pitbull will be destroyed. A few more Pitbulls out here from Shoktrepet. So he's just got a presence with these Pitbulls. We did see a Predator tank or 2 there as well. So the Seeker tanks are not going to be enjoying seeing the Predator tanks, of course, because the Predator is superior to the Seeker tank. Shields is done. Probably working on his tech center now. Double war factory is down. Warp's fear in this case will be cutting off the scouts there. Battle markers open up again. These few Seeker tanks, they will find these Pitbulls, but the Pitbulls are just going to simply destroy them. That's the end of those Seeker tanks. So yeah, just shooting those guys down. Meanwhile, what's happening up here? Masterleaf pulling his harvester back. Not quite sure. He's going to turn around and go back. He definitely wants to take a swing at the last bit of blue crystal there. He has harvested the crystal at least once already. These Seeker tanks now just menacing around. They will of course eventually defeat the Pitbulls once their numbers get to an appropriate point. Shoktrepet doing a good job of getting rifleman squads into the enemy base here. We can see the tech center is down. That's going to be shard launchers on the way. Of course, it only takes a minute 15, so it's a reasonably lengthy upgrade. It's not a short one. Of course, the longest upgrades in the game are only a minute and a half, but it's basically like getting Tib Core, essentially. 2500, minute 15, and there's some other units which benefit from that as well. Obviously, he'll have very powerful anti-aircraft, which is really going to force Shoktrepet to stay on the ground. And of course, GDI do have one of the most potent air forces in the game in terms of their availability, flexibility, and speed. When it comes to things, they've got an aircraft for pretty much every situation. But he's going to stay on the ground, and again, if he can get his armor rolling, that will obviously benefit him quite a bit. Few Predator tanks coming up here now to meet these Seeker tanks. Masterleaf is not backing off though. MCV making a move to the third base here for Shoktrepet. He's going to have to deploy because there are Seeker tanks here, and they should be able to pick off that Predator tank nice and easily. You don't want to lose fringe Predators like this, where you have like 1 or 2 units out on the fringe. Masterleaf just losing a Seeker there, but of course Seekers are somewhat expendable because they're pretty cheap. They're only $800. Shards is now done, and those APCs are not going to be enjoying that. Those APCs do not have the armor to weather the shards there, and he's going to move it, although that's a bit of a force move there. That move order I don't think was very good because there's a lot of Predator tanks there, and of course even though the Seeker tanks have a very high damage, they still don't have a lot of health once the shield is gone, and there was a lot of Predator tanks there, so that could have been a bit better for Masterleaf. He has picked off a lot of the APCs. Battle marker over here, there is one Seeker tank just making his way through to this base here. I think the machine guns on the harvesters may be able to finish that off. Meanwhile, more Seeker tanks being taken down over here. He's got a couple just on the south flank there. Will locate the Pitbulls, which will fall back because of that. Railguns is done, so we can see a tech center was placed down somewhat earlier. Second upgrade is on the way. This could be Pitbull mortar here. Did manage to clean that up, keeping a close eye on the radar. Railguns, of course, Masterleaf is not going to be looking forward to seeing that on these Predator tanks. If you can outnumber them, and if you can get on a flank, he should still be okay. You got to remember, Seekers are still cheaper than Predators, but both sides could essentially just sell their tech. But I think the Scrin player needs their tech more than any other faction in the game. He's falling back here, battle markers over there as well, disintegrators coming through. He's got a hexapod out, he has busted out a hexapod, so no tripods. He's just gone straight for a hexapod, and it's definitely for a meat shield. 2 disintegrators, 1 shock trooper squad there, so it's basically his meat shield to suck up all the damage, while the Seekers are what's going to actually deal the damage. He's pulling all of his Seekers, all of his units. You can see there's a big pull here from a lot of his forces. He's moving the drone platform up to Shoktrepet's base here. Shoktrepet does have grenade squads, which means EMP grenades is probably on the cards. Yes, almost done, and he should be able to defend this out with the EMP grenades. But if we have a look down here, he's got a second MCV expanding to Masterleaf's side. Masterleaf has a second drone ship though. This is intense. It looks like both sides have an insurance policy in case the fight in the north doesn't go to plan, but they're going to be very much surprised when they find out their insurance policies do basically overlap with each other, and it's not going to be an insurance policy at all. Seeker tanks, sorry, not Seeker tanks, Predator tanks. No, whoa, what am I doing? Pitbulls getting chewed up a little bit here. There will be an engagement over here. We can see now that Masterleaf is pushing in. He uses the stasis, and that really locks down a lot of the units there. That was a move order there as well by Shoktrepet. That was not a good idea to have a move order into that army, and now Masterleaf is pushing forward, trying to surround this here. No EMP grenades going down at all. A lot of Predator tanks getting picked off straight away. The hexapod just turning around there. Once that stasis wears off, I think that infantry ball there is pretty much dead. There's too much anti-infantry there. Harvesters are now being destroyed as well. There's Devastator warships, which is even worse for him, and that army will get cleaned up there. Masterleaf, a dominating victory in that fight. Hexapod still at 50% health, and Shoktrepet can't hope really to defend this. Sonic Emitter comes down a little bit late to the party. Second one comes down, so Masterleaf, if he was paying attention, would know that there is a second MCV, because that was dropped within seconds of the first one. But yeah, if those Sonic Emitters were up during the main engagement and not afterwards, they could have made a lot of a difference. But now that they're just getting popped by themselves, that's pretty much it. Shoktrepet has lost his army, and I don't think he has any way to recover here. He's got a handful of pitbulls, but nothing much else. Masterleaf is now refining on this field. The MCV will fall. There's still a Sonic Emitter there, but there's nothing to defend the base here. And the tier 3 and 2 is here as well, which means the loss of this base will put Shoktrepet back down to tier 1, which isn't too bad, I guess, considering he's against Scrin tier 1, and he does have railguns. You don't actually, of course, need to retain your tech center to keep the upgrade. So the Predator tanks that he can build will still come out with the railguns on them. Sonic Emitter again would have been fantastic in the defense. You can see they absolutely murder these tier 1 Scrin units. Oh, he's been discovered down the bottom as well. Devastator warships are there. You can see the attack path on them and the shadow on the top of the screen, but Shoktrepet has tapped out of that game. So Masterleaf will take the first victory. He'll be 1-0 in this best of 5 series, and what can I say? Shoktrepet played quite well right up to the end, where he really just lost a very critical engagement, and he lost it way too badly. So that was unfortunate for him. 112,000 or 105,000. Economy was pretty even, but that fight, you can see right there on the bar, that fight was the whole game, and unfortunately he's lost that one. Hopefully he can stabilize. There's still time in the series. Game number 2 is coming up right now. Okay guys, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 5 series between Masterleaf and Shoktrepet. We are on Tournament Dust Bowl this time, so we can see that Shoktrepet gets the choice of maps, and he goes right for a Tib Wars classic map, no doubt. In this situation, we have Shoktrepet on the bottom right hand side. This is not Masterleaf, this is Shoktrepet. He is playing as the Traveller 59, so he's decided to switch across to the Nemesis faction, although he is actually playing as random, so he didn't get to choose anyway. Masterleaf is playing as Zocom here on the top right hand side, or top center side, going for his spike. We know he's Zocom because he has the field suits available on his rifleman squads just moving out. There are, of course, no spikes here, because this is the no poker version of the map. So you get pretty much a safe spike. That's a lot of disintegrator squads there coming out from Shoktrepet there. Builds his assimilator last, so this is going to allow him to get his units out a lot faster. But the problem is that Masterleaf had a scout there. He poked forward and then he poked back. He knows he's already backing up again now. He's fully aware that there are disintegrators on his left flank, and he's going to have time to respond to those. Probably going to build an APC. Yeah, there it is. He builds the APC. He drafts the tower, not looking to retain the tower there. He's got another squad on the ground, but these are fast leg distance, so you got to remember they can overrun that APC. You got to watch out for the mine bomb strategy where they dump out that minefield and insta-vaporize everything around it. So he's going to back up here. Again, Shoktrepet just going to turn around and come back. I think Masterleaf maybe thinks, no, he's going to engage. He's going to engage with the Rifleman squad first, and he's now just going to bypass that, go straight for the APC. He pops it, and he even kills the units. These are not GDI harvesters. These are Zocom harvesters. He's going to get a kill on a harvester there straight away. That's pretty bad for Masterleaf. He's going for a second one. Oh my god, if he gets the second one, oh, that's it. That's the game. Or Masterleaf, that is unusual for a pro to lose like that quickly. He bungled it. He bungled the defense. It's as simple as that. He made a mess of it. He underestimated it. It's just a bungle on the defense there for Masterleaf, and Shoktrepet, just like that, equalizes the series. I don't have anything else to say about the game. It was 2 minutes 10 seconds long. Yeah, just a bungled defense by Masterleaf there. Should have been able to hold that, and should have been just light harassment at best. But hey, that's game number 2. Game number 3, I guess, is coming up right now. Okay guys, here we are at game number 3 between Shoktrepet and Masterleaf. The series is tied 1-1, so it's basically a best of 3 now. We are on Tournament LA, Tournament Los Angeles. Don't actually mind this map too much. I think it's actually quite decent. It's very lovely looking. It's very well laid out, especially with these garden areas. It looks very realistic, like a livable location. But on the top left-hand side, we have Masterleaf playing as the Traveller 59. Almost certainly he has switched back to the Traveller. He's not taking any prisoners. Shoktrepet will be sticking with the cyan colours because that's the colour that he loves. He's going to be Mock, by the way. We can see the Awakened squad just sneaking away on the top left-hand side. He will be able to secure his spike, no problems. Masterleaf might have been moving for an intercept, but he actually constructed an Awakened squad, a full one, so that's going to be almost impossible for Masterleaf to dislodge at this stage in the game. No Disintegrators came out from Masterleaf, by the way, so no Disintegrators here. Burger Kong there. Unfortunately, you can't garrison the Burger Kong there, which would be quite cool, but no, he's going to back off with his units over here. We have to see what happens. Masterleaf just going to jump out of the garrison, maybe take a swing at him. There's no way, even with 4 squads here, I don't think he can overrun this Mock squad. They can just insta-snipe. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it, and he's... Oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? He actually he does. He gets it. So 4 buzzers were able to overrun that. So, yeah, that's nice. Although, essentially, 4 buzzers are worth more than the squad. So... you'd kind of, it's still not like the best trade, $500 versus $600. Considering if you draft a buzzer hive, you essentially paid $300 for one of those buzzer swarms, whereas out of the portal they're only $200. So it's always better. Same with Nod Vanilla. Only draft if there's a speed requirement. If it's just a money requirement, then you're best just building them from your portal or your Hand of Nod. There was a... oh no, I thought I saw something on the radar, but it's just this tree apparently shows up on the radar as somewhat yellow, even though Masterleaf is green, but it just caught my attention. Shoktrepet now. Oh, he's not quite close enough. He might have to remove again. I think he's too far away. He's got his power plants up, so he's actually going to go for a ref of some kind. Raider Buggy comes in. He's going to have a look around. Masterleaf is sending Harvester number 5, number 4 to the Blue Tiberium field there. He wants to clean that crystal up before Shoktrepet has a chance to respond to that. But there is a bite coming out, and he's shooting at it with the Raider Buggy because every piece of damage counts here. The Raider Buggy is actually backing off, so not sure where he's going. Maybe looking to clean up the any type of buzzer that was in his base. Now, Masterleaf pulls back early, and there are more bites coming, so it was actually a correct decision to pull back. But that's great because look at the blue tib he got. He got, what, 15%, maybe 20% of his tank filled with blue tib. That's not enough to warrant the drive time out there and back again. He could have already been docked with a lot of Tiberium already, so that's not good for Masterleaf. Lost mining time. Second War Factory came out. He did move the MCV, so this is actually looking pretty sweet here for Shoktrepet. Seeker tanks now coming out to respond to this threat. Seeker tanks are here. One Seeker tank will be destroyed straight away. Shoktrepet just harassing with these forces. He should be able to pop a second tank. He loses a bike there though. Still unable to kill some of these bikes. The bikes will die very fast to the Seekers, but the Raider Buggy is just one of those units which is really hard to dislodge. He's actually taking the nerve center here. He could actually destroy this. Masterleaf is in a bit of trouble if that goes down. Not researching the shields at the moment, so maybe not planning on going for the shields. He is going to bypass the buggies and shoot at the bikes, and he might actually be able to save this nerve center here. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He puts down the lightning spike. He really wants to save this. He's committing, and he's going to lose it. That's unfortunate. Puts down the ref there. I don't think he was doing anything with it, to be honest. I mean, he put down the lightning spike, but he wasn't researching anything. I don't believe we see any dev tanks out, no. So he kind of had it there and maybe changed his mind about his tech path, but nonetheless, it is a good pick-off because time and effort was spent on that. He did end up losing quite a number of bikes, but in double war factory with the mock play here, you can expend those types of units. Double ref is down now. He's got 3 harvesters, so his ratio's okay at the moment, but he'd want to build at least 1 more harvester, 2 more harvesters to send across there. Otherwise, he's not taking full advantage. He's going to continue to go for units, so he wants units. EMP landing on that lightning spike, not going to achieve too much. Disintegrator squads are coming out. They do not have fast legs, but they will have that shortly. Masterleaf a little bit split. Battle markers over here. We just see a lone Seeker tank. Look at this. Shoktrepet is going for a 3rd base off of just 2 war factory. He has no technology to speak of. He's going to be able to power on these 2 war factories for a long time. He could have even put down a 3rd war factory if he wanted to, but maybe he's saving money for another base. So he's going to redeploy now, probably tanking or floating quite a bit of money. The blue Tiberium field has been allowed to develop a little bit now that it's been really left unchecked. Masterleaf actually going to come across the map with this Seeker Disintegrator army here. It's more of a hit squad. He's going to find a decent amount of bite buggy here. Harvesters coming out now from Shoktrepet, realizing, hey, maybe I will just get some more economy up. Take advantage of that. He should be moving out now. Now he is mocked, so he doesn't get any flame weapons or anything like that, so Masterleaf does not have to worry about any flame tanks stabbing him in the back or anything like that. You can build Reckoners, but there's not a lot Mock can do with Reckoners these days. I mean, you can put engineers in them and boost them around and things like that, but you generally don't see them build them because Reckoners go very well with things like flame weaponry, and of course they don't get any. But there will be an engagement here between these forces. We can see that Masterleaf is trying to focus down some of the bikes here, and he will get quite a few. EMP Blast does miss. There's a lot of Raider buggies here. He's trying to give his harvesters a bit of cover. He's actually going to back out on with his harvesters now. One did get a full load of blue Tiberium, so he has benefited. He's going to go for the kill on that harvester. Unfortunately, it stops, and it probably wouldn't have gotten away anyway. But look at this. Masterleaf has actually focused down almost all the bikes, and he's going to leave nothing but Raider buggies, which can't really do a lot to attacking Masterleaf's harvesters or anything like that, but they can of course clean up these disintegrators. He's going to need something else, and the tech center is down, which means Mechapeds are probably going to come out because Mechapeds will be able to smash this. We might even see a storm column come down for the base defenses because a storm column is going to be really hard to dislodge. He's going to try to focus down some of these units. The disintegrator squads are just evaporating now. He's put that down to buy himself some time. And buy himself some time. He will get a single Mechapede coming out now, not very well developed. Should be able to pick off some of these Raider buggies. You kind of want to keep these Raider buggies or destroy these Raider buggies while you can, because they're just building up and they're just a huge. They become a really out of control meat shield at some point in time. There's an attack over here actually, by the way. Masterleaf is trying to pull Shoktrepet back. We'll snipe down a harvester. We'll find some more forces here. That harvester is full of blue Tiberium, not blue Tiberium, green Tiberium. I'm not sure why I said blue Tiberium, but Masterleaf will now be getting cleaned up, trying to take down any bikes that he can on the way out. He should really try to focus fire a little bit more there and get some of those last bikes. Unfortunately, leaving a lot of them in the red health there. We'll get one more kill before finally losing the last Seeker tank. That was nice because one, it brought back. Phase field comes down now. This is for stealth detection only and to draw fire while the Mechapeds are here. Masterleaf does this sometimes. It's really, it's actually quite good and quite annoying for the Nod player to have these units here drawing fire. It's actually not going to take full advantage of it, pulling these Seeker tanks back now and the Mechapeds back. He does have 5 Mechapeds. The last thing you want to do though is lose your Mechapeds in a situation like this. EMP comes down. Oh my god, he EMP'd 2 of the mechas. The other mechas are just going to abandon him. He's force firing the head. He will get the head down. It looks like the dishwasher is complete, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear that beeping. But he's going to pull back now. Only lost 1 Mechapede, which is okay. That's not too bad. The bite buggy is getting pretty crazy right now, but the Seeker tanks have now unfazed, and they'll be almost undoubtedly destroyed on the way out. I don't think they can escape here. You've got to be careful with this Tib field because, of course, Shoktrepet can Tib vein that. If the Mechapeds get close, and that will be the end of them. Prodigy is with the Mechapeds as well, so Masterleaf really dancing around here, trying to make sure that the bite buggy can't go and attack his base, so that it has to deal with what Masterleaf has here. Will be dislodging that Awakened squad, pushing it back. Does he have tech? He does have tech. A Buzzer Swarm came in, but I'm not sure if that's to view. He might be looking at a wormhole. He could very well be looking at the wormhole. There's fighting in amongst the buildings here. He's pulling back. I'm not sure where that Prodigy went, or if he lost it, or what happened. A lot of bikes getting destroyed there. That's unfortunate. There it is, the Prodigy was there. The Prodigy is dead, and he may have captured the tech center because it is gone. So Masterleaf just being really nasty. That's a really nasty strategy. It's a real dirty strategy to do something like that, in my opinion. But again, he's left with nothing but Raider buggies, and you know what? These Mechapedes can probably actually just beeline straight into those, because the Raider buggies don't really have any significant damage they can put on these. It's really the bikes that are going to be doing the damage here. And now Masterleaf is just pushing shoktrepet back quite far. Shoktrepet is in a bit of trouble now. I'm not sure what he's going to do about this. He needs a way to shut down these Mechapedes and he'll be fine. He does have his third base fully developed. He did get supercharged particles, so that's nice, especially against the Traveler Force. Doesn't have Tib Core though. He could definitely be looking forward to Tib Core, putting down more of these Shredder Types, just trying to draw fire, but he's in full defense mode, and Masterleaf is using this to establish his third base. Masterleaf establishes his third base, and he's looking pretty. He is looking pretty. He's going to lose that lightning spike straight away. Luckily, of course, no stealth detection, which means the harvesters are free to refine in the middle of the battle here. They could take splash damage, but it's probably relatively unlikely at this point in time. Shoktrepet could clean out some of his buildings here, transfer some of these harvesters, and do a bit of a sell-off here. What's happening? A couple more mechas over here, having trouble finding the harvesters, of course, because they don't have any stealth detection. Mechapedes can detect stealth if they crash right into it, so that's basically the limit of their stealth detection, but that's very difficult to do. We can see now that Shoktrepet is going to go and counterattack. First time in a while that he's managed to break out of his base. He's going up to the north. He's going to find Masterleaf's main base. Not a lot here to harass. There are, of course, a few harvesters lingering behind, but we can see that we do have... Oh, he just manages to pick it. Just manages to pick a battle marker down here as well. Looks like Shoktrepet was trying to do bikes down the bottom, but they have been completely caught out by Disintegrator squads, and there's Mechapedes all over the map as well. There's not just Mechapedes in this main force. Masterleaf has multiple Mechapedes hit squads now, and he needs to respond. He needs something to deal with this. He needs more bikes. He needs Tib Core. He might even need stealth tanks at this point in time. Stealth tanks can basically one-shot the head of the mechas. But he's just having a hard time dealing with this. Yeah, I think a couple of Venoms and some stealth tanks, or at least Tib Core bikes, but I'm not sure how far away he is from from getting that, or if he's rebuilt his tech center. Obelisk comes down, so he must have a tech center, but of course Masterleaf forced out the base defense, just going to pull away from this location. Doesn't have to worry about it. Battle marker over here, these harvesters were trying to get blue Tib, not going to quite get a lot, but Shoktrepet is once again being pushed into a corner, or pushed back. Masterleaf is just pushing down on him. Masterleaf hasn't been able to break into the base. Now the Tib Core is done now, so that's something that he really badly needed. He needed the Tib Core. The Mechapedes are somewhat hurt. Masterleaf is rebuilding them now. Does pick out a Mechapede there. There's one dead mecha, the rest are just parts. But yeah, pretty sporadic engagements here from Shoktrepet. The charged particle beams will absolutely murder those Disintegrator squads. They also draw a lot of fire from the Mechapedes as well, so which allows the bike buggy to do more damage. But yeah, this is pretty hard. The problem is because Tib Core really destroys things like Mechapedes, whereas Mechapedes can really destroy bikes. So it's kind of like you have two forces attacking each other that are incredibly deadly to one another, and it's just one of those weird situations. Hexapod comes out. We can see there is a refinery missing. That could have been a catalyst. Yeah, we do have this here. He must have catalyst him. He will pick out that lone tripod. I'm not sure why Masterleaf had a lone tripod. Oh, actually blows up some of his bikes in the process there. Not sure why Masterleaf had a lone tripod out there. Might have been a misrally. These Mechapedes are going to come across now. He's going to need EMP coils to deal with the Hexapod. That's fine. He's got a ton of bike buggies, so he's already got the buggies here. Oh, he picks out another one of those Mechapedes as well. So Masterleaf now not looking too threatening anymore. He's not quite looking that threatening. Shoktrepet has managed to weather the storm. And of course, there's a lot of Tiberium left on both sides, so this is obviously far from over. This is going to be a pretty lengthy game. No garrisons in the Eradicator Hexapod though, so Masterleaf might want to do something about that. A Redeemer will be coming out from Shoktrepet, so now we're starting to see them bring out the big guns, and avatars are coming out, so there you go. We're actually going to transition away from this type of tier 1 spam and mecha spam into these heavier hitting forces which you see some people even just refuse to do that at certain points. You have people like Technique and Bike Rush who predominantly just stick on the tier 1 the whole time, and often it can lead to just a slow death if you can't get out any tech units. But in this situation, they've identified they will need tech to finish this game. Masterleaf is coming in, does have triple disintegrator garrison inside the hexapod now, looking for an EMP. He's got an awakened squad there. He's got an avatar there. Should be able to pick off one of those mechapeds. Not quite getting that one. Battle markers are raging on the other side of the map. It's nothing serious, so we'll keep an eye on this attack down here. Stasis comes down, or sorry, the temporal comes down in this case here. Some mechapeds are dying, but there's a lot of bikes being destroyed here, and the mecha heads are not being focused. There was zero focus in that engagement. We have the mag mines coming down, and hexapod will hit those, and he'll get mag mined on him. But yeah, again, no focus firing, which means the mechapeds are still predominantly all alive. They need to be careful not to run over the mag minefield. He's going to lose this base. Battle marker is over here as well. We see, it looks like, I'm not sure if there was a prodigy there. I don't think so. It's just a lone mechapede. I think he may have sold that. He's actually producing enlightened squads here, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why he's producing enlightened squads. Maybe he's got an idea or a plan in motion. No base defense queued. He's going to lose his tier 3. His tech lab will be destroyed. He's got his upgrades. Does he have EMP coils? I don't believe he has EMP coils. He doesn't even have any raider buggies left anyway. Oh man, he's not going to be able to disable the hexapod here. Shoktrepet is reeling now. He could be going down, or he could be falling behind the series. Will teleport the hexapod. Oh, that's filthy. Dodges the EMP blast, actually teleports it over here. There is another awakened squad. Will Shoktrepet identify that? He will slam it down with an EMP. Can he follow it up with another EMP? He's got some units over here that he could re-EMP. Now you got to remember, he's already used the teleport of the prodigy, which means he can't use that. It's on cooldown. He's got an opportunity to destroy the hexapod here. He's got the area mind control comes down. The prodigy is there, but I think he's still got a phase field at his disposal. It's been quite a while. Masterleaf is going to run off with this. Yeah, he does. He phases the prodigy. Maybe should have put a rage gen down to prevent that. I'm not sure if he's used the rage gen. And now Shoktrepet's going to scatter. He's going to scatter away. The prodigy, though, I believe will escape. Where is it? It did get away, didn't it? I'm not 100% sure. I believe it might have got away. It may have been killed, but Masterleaf has somehow been held. Just good. There it is. There's a prodigy. Very heavily damaged. And oh man, that's just nasty, isn't he? He's just getting the mind control abilities out and just preventing himself from being killed there. Avatars here unable to destroy the hexapod. It is phased. He'll be moving these forces in. A few mechapeds over there. Does snipe one down. There's only one remaining. We'll have to see what Masterleaf's been doing with the remainder of his cash here, because he has been a bit quiet. Looks like he's just been building mechapeds. He's got some tripods. He's calling in the repair drones. He doesn't actually have any corruptors, which is something he is missing here. So he might need some corruptors if he wants to make this happen. Does get an EMP blast down, maybe able to destroy this. He's actually using Enlightened here again. These Enlightened are actually starting to do some serious work. He's got the legs upgrade. He's got the prodigy here. Can he get that? There is a venom there. He might have to mind control the venom. He's not going to turn around, and he will destroy it. That's the end of that one. The avatars do not fall. Wow, is this force actually going to push Masterleaf back to his base for the first time since maybe the 5-minute mark of the game? Shoktrepet is now attacking Masterleaf. He's going to get an EMP blast down, and with the prodigy dead and the phase field down, he's got no way of getting rid of this. Another EMP blast comes down. He's going to lose his hexapod. It will be destroyed straight away. The mechapeds coming in. Rage gen will come down, which means he can't focus his mechapeds. They are on a move order, and they are getting destroyed by the avatars. The avatars are simply too heavily armored to really be hurt much by that at all. And oh my god, he's going to survive. He's going to have 4 avatars remaining. He's got 2 veterans. But again, this force is very heavily damaged. He needs a way to repair these guys. And of course, Nod has no mobile repair options. He might lose an avatar to buzzers here. That would be pretty devastating. He's going to pull them back now, realizing they're in a bit of trouble. Prodigy is here, but of course there are Venoms here as well, and he needs to be careful. He loses the Prodigy, and this is what happens when you build high-tech units against Traveler. You bring out the Cultists, or you force out the Cultists, but of course these particle beam Venoms are going to have a field day, and the Redeemer, there's nothing much. Look at it, it's full health. He's just got these mechapeds. They're not enough to really do anything to this Redeemer. He's actually backing off because he doesn't want to get hit with like an EMP or anything like that. Maybe if Masterleaf has a tripod rolling around. This is questionable. These avatars are so heavily damaged now. Does he really want to send those back in? The Redeemer backs off from the build radius a little bit and now is starting to fire at these structures here. Masterleaf is trying to go across the map. He will find these Venoms. The Venoms realize that those are disc mechas and they don't want to mess with them because disc mechas, of course, you can see just destroying them, blowing them out of the sky. Shoktrepet does recover one of the tripods here, will help in the defense. He'll come across this building here, but unfortunately unable to clear it. He will clear it now with the buzzers. But meanwhile, Masterleaf's base is being attacked. He's actually pulling his force back, so Shoktrepet is backing off. He needs something to deal with these mecha though. Just clear my throat real quickly, but the Venoms will be able to clean out the buzzer swarm here. The mecha that's the thing. They do have a mixture of disc, shard, and toxin segments here, so he's got a bit of everything mixed in these mecha and they are starting to hollow out the base a little bit. I think there's an obelisk ready. No, it's just going to be a charged particle upgraded structure here, but these mecha have succeeded in pulling Shoktrepet back, but he runs over those mag mines. Oh my god, he's going to lose mecha to mag mines. It is on the head there. All the Redeemers here. Raging goes off. He might be able to just completely snare these mecha right now. He's firing at them. Can he get any kills? He wasn't focusing their head. He will get a headshot here. He needs to get these before they escape. They have got mag mines on them though, so maybe they will actually just be finished off with the mag mines. The Venoms are coming in. Can the Venoms focus them down? There's no disc launchers on them just yet. Masterleaf is trying to rebuild them. Not sure what he's trying to rebuild them with. Hexapod is back out. Second Hexapod. Oh, gets an EMP blast off. That was deadly. Masterleaf not paying attention there, and Shoktrepet has got an EMP blast off. No doubt the Redeemer is responding. These very heavily damaged avatars are going to try to crawl their way over there. The Mecha is going to go over and try to save the Hexapod. We can see that there are cultists coming. There is a Prodigy coming. He's going to need those Venoms. Where are the Venoms? The Venoms need to be here yesterday. The Venoms need to come up here before he starts losing his forces. Oh, and he teleports he takes the tripod, teleports it next to the Redeemer, but a Rage Gen prevents it from really doing... Oh my god, did you see that? Oh my god, he was EMP'd on the minefield and it looked like it was doing incredibly large amount of damage there. That was pretty insane. I have to watch that one back. That looked pretty gnarly there. So Masterleaf has just lost another Hexapod. He kind of needed that to make something in this fight. Shock treatment, long-range mining from this field over here. We'll be able to take that. Masterleaf calling in Ichor Seed by the looks of things. Did another one just die? Yeah, he just lost another one. Magmines must have killed it. Does this one have Magmines? No, that's the end of the game. Oh my god, Masterleaf has tapped out of that game. So look at that. That was... what can I say about that game? Shoktrepet looked like he was on the front foot for the first part, and then for the huge amount, like the middle 15 minutes of the game, Masterleaf just pummeled him, and then Shock Treatment pushed back, or Shoktrepet pushed back. There's so many guys that have similar names: Shock Treatment, Shocktopus, Shoktrepet. They're all different people. But 21-minute game, 181,000 to 194,000. Pretty similar on the economy side of things there. You can see Shoktrepet was always ahead. Masterleaf actually managed to come out on top, mainly because he was probably harvesting the blue tib field. But yeah, pretty long game, 22 minutes. I mean, not hugely long game, but it felt a lot longer than it was. But Shoktrepet takes the lead 2-1 in the series when it didn't look like it was going to happen there. But he's now on match point. Can Masterleaf force the ace match? Or will Shoktrepet knock Masterleaf out of this tournament? Game number 4 is coming up right now. Alright guys, welcome back to game number 4 between Shoktrepet and Masterleaf. We are on Tournament Odyssey here. The score is 2-1 in favour of Shoktrepet, so he may very well be knocking Masterleaf, the Kane's Wrath Pro, out of a Kane's Wrath tournament when Shoktrepet is more of a Tiberium Wars tournament. Speaking of Shoktrepet, he is on the left hand side. He will be playing as the Brotherhood of Nod Vanilla. We can see there with the basic Nod units. Meanwhile, Masterleaf will be playing on the top as the Traveler 59. So Masterleaf is going to be playing as Traveler 59. We can see the stasis chamber is down here from Masterleaf, so he's going to be going for fast legs. Does have his assimilators out, 2 easily capturable spikes. You should be familiar with the map. I've casted and played on it a ton before. We'll be locating this one buzzer swarm here, not able to clean it up. We can see the triple militant squad somewhat difficult to overrun for Masterleaf. Not going to be able to do that. Masterleaf is going to want to send his disintegrators in a direction where they can't be spotted, but if he sends them down the guts, that's obviously the quickest way to get across the map. Less amount of time for your opponent to prepare, but of course they will see them sooner, so when I say less amount of time to prepare, it's not always true. He will be spotting them now as they move through the middle there. He's going to beeline. This is something that he was doing in some of the bigger tournaments where he would just beeline through the middle of the map. Unfortunately, going to find this shredder turret there, and he does try to spread out. Nice spread there, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, because the shredder turret's way out there, it means he's going to have to build another one, and he's actually going to lose a harvester here by the looks of things. It's going to be close. He's not putting down another turret. He does have another turret down now, and oh my god, that is close, but he will miraculously save that one. So he put the turret down there to get shots on as quick as possible, but the thing is, when Masterleaf bypasses it, you have to put another one down. So I generally favor closer, so you get shots on, and if he wants to attack the harvester, he's still getting shots on with the same unit there. Shoktrepet will deploy, sorry, not deploy, pack up his MCV. A Raider Buggy is out. Going to have a look and see what he's up to. Unfortunately, wasn't able to achieve anything with the Disintegrator squads. He does have 3 harvesters, and he has moved the drone ship. So generally speaking, when you do that type of opening, you go for 3 harvesters before you get a second refinery, just because harvesters are much quicker to build, and you can support 3 harvesters with 1 refinery. You will have a little bit of lining up here. Masterleaf actually even just transferring the other harvester across. But yeah, you don't want 4 on 1 ref. 3 is the maximum. You want on 1 refinery, and of course the classic 5 and 2 is generally accepted as the meta on a field like this. Shoktrepet has a lot of squads because of this, so he is kind of somewhat spread out. Has a lot of vision on the map. Now, he is not vanilla, which means he has flame weapons at his discretion this time, so we'll have to see what he's going to do. He's just going to pop down a refinery here, and he's going to take this blue cheddar. Masterleaf, meanwhile, tier 2 is going to come down. Are we going to see the shield upgrade, attenuated force? There's no way. He's travel 59, so he cannot get those. This could be a fast tech. This could very well be a fast tech. Another structure is being queued, almost certainly going to be a tech center, so he wants those mechapedes out quick, smart. I think Shoktrepet is going to use this time to put down a second war factory and then go to a second refinery, and he's going to do a classic 2 base, 2 war factory, up to 3 war factory, possibly with the bike buggies here, because that will of course be pretty reasonable against the mechapedes. Of course, it's always going to come down to the focus firing and the positioning. The mechapedes could very easily obliterate the bike buggy, whereas the bike buggy, like I was saying in the last game, could very easily obliterate the mechapedes. So it comes down to a lot of skill. First mechapede is going to be on its way out. Masterleaf, of course, has supplemented himself with a couple of these Seeker tanks. The Raider Buggies immediately beeline to these Seekers. They're just like, hey, shoot at us first, shoot at us first. And look at that, he's going to separate these. This is just tricky for Masterleaf. He's going to move through. He will get a bike, but he's lost 2 Seeker tanks already, and this is not panning out well for him. Now Shoktrepet is just going to turn around and destroy them. He gets another kill, but unfortunately not a good trade. The drone ship has a ton of health, but deciding he wanted to try to say that. 2 mechapedes are out now. He doesn't want to lose. The worst thing you can do is lose a mechapede right now. You do not want to lose mechapedes this early on, and if he loses one, that could be it. Oh my god, he lost one. He's lost a mechapede. Another mechapede is out, so he's still got 2 mechapedes, but unfortunately he's losing the segments. He doesn't have any segments. He's barely even firing back at these bikes, and unfortunately not able to kill enough of them. He will lose this other mechapede, so Shoktrepet jumping on him before he has the opportunity to do anything. Loses quite a few bikes then, but Masterleaf is selling out of the game. Shoktrepet just jumped him before he could get to the position he wanted to be in, and Masterleaf unfortunately wasn't able to keep his mechas alive. If he kept the first 2 alive, he would have been up to 5, and that would have been much easier to defend. He could afford to take some base damage there, but unfortunately Shoktrepet was very aggressive. Masterleaf unfortunately wasn't able to out dance him. Kill death ratio 7 for Shoktrepet, 0.13 for Masterleaf. So that's the end of the series. Masterleaf has actually been defeated by Shoktrepet 3 games to 1 in the tournament, which means your grand final will be Shoktrepet versus Senna. That's going to be interesting. I have no idea who's supposed to win that series. Senna, of course, I would be favouring, but in this series I'd be favouring Masterleaf, and he just got destroyed. The thing is that Masterleaf played a lot of the strategies that he would normally play, but he didn't play them versus me, which was a bit frustrating. But Masterleaf, unfortunately, Shoktrepet will win the series 3 games to 1. Stay tuned on my channel. I got the grand final coming up in the next video.